For me, the crematory is the big deal. That's where I spend a lot of my time.
Right.
Like I said, there have been placing them in the urn, placing the cremated remains in the urn, the new authorization form, those have been big deals. We've got a new container also that the deceased goes in. Instead of the cardboard alternative container, we have what's called a transporter unit now, which looks better for the family, a better presentation. I think it's softer. It's, while it's still a cardboard box, it is colored. It's got a different texture to it. It's not a brown cardboard box that says handle with care on the outside that looks like a shipping box. In the crematory, for me, it is the same thing, but it's a better look for the family.
Well, it's probably an answer that you're going to hear a lot, and that would be Greystone. And I say that in the respect that when we started the Greystone program, not only is it for the licensed staff, but it's a training program that takes in pretty much all avenues of our business. It is the licensed staff, the funeral directors, it is the FSAs that are at the cemetery locations that took in our part-time staff, the drivers, the guest relations. So everybody is kind of, I guess, singing out of the same hymn book of what the training and what the planning and everything is. It's been over a year, but I think we took a while to get established with taking the care center back in, but that's just been phenomenal for everyone involved, including our staff and our families got great advantage from that. Recently we had a family that had experienced a death, and rather than call us, they came to us straight from the hospital. And I was actually with someone, and I was the only one there because we were transitioning between staff. And my guest relations person that day, it was, nothing but hospitality and, what can we do for you? And, just really handled the situation, I would say, better than we would have handled it in the past in that kind of a situation. It's given me the opportunity to, I've been here almost 30 years, to kind of step back and look at, this is how I was trained, and that's really what it was, a training program, 30 years ago, versus what we're doing now, where it's not it's not being trained the same way. It's, learning the process more than a training program. Again, 30 years ago, it was like, move in, move out, let's move on. So, you learn more about them, you make better suggestions, you have a service, you create a service that's more attuned to what they really are looking for. I think the key to it is that, a driver for the limousine, a driver for the flower car, the guest relations person, they're all getting the same input, the same information that I'm getting, and understand the entire process versus, this is how we've done it and this is what we're going to do. From our process now of delivering cremated remains back to a family and the process that we go through in that, receiving the cremated remains, we've always required, and I'll say that term, required an identification of the deceased by a next of kin. Now we do more than that, where we dress the person, we make the setting a little more serene, not so sterile. It's more of a visitation, as if you were going in, not just a quick ID and out, which I think gives the family a lot of closure. Once the cremation is complete, before it was like, here's the urn, thank you very much, but now it's more of a setting where you're doing hate to say a delivery, but at least, it's a little more of you set it up rather than, leaving it for the guest relations that night. Oh, somebody's coming by, make sure they sign right here and move on. So,
Greystone, wonderful Greystone. Lots of new younger funeral directors, all new equipment, new phone systems, new fax machines. Just, Flanner's done a lot of wonderful things this year. And also with the new copiers, we all have the same. You go to a different location and you can already work those pieces of equipment. You don't have to train on them again. You already know that when you go in. When I went from Lawrence to Memorial Park and Washington Park, I already knew how to work the new copiers, the new phones. So I think it was a lot of thinking went into that, and it was very, very useful. There's so many things. The CLC, for example. Greystone said to me, if you could say to Brian and Bruce, what would you do in the future? They've already done it. They built the CLC, that's events, weddings, all kinds of parties. It's just really, really great to work for Flanner.
From my perspective at Oak Lawn Memorial Gardens, we have recently opened a cremation garden. My crew and I spent quite a bit of time working on that, and we are now open for business with that, especially since cremation seems to be an up-and-coming way to go with funerals at this point in time. One of the other things that we have done on the cemetery end is a lot of cross-training. I like that. One of the other things that's going on at Oak Lawn is we are planning a new mausoleum. It's a freestanding mausoleum. Probably will be open in about a year and a half. Over the last 4.5 years, we've made those significant strides. We've improved the condition of the trees, the condition of the grass. We're more responsive to the needs of the people. So I think in general, from a landscaping standpoint, we've improved that. And again, it makes people feel comfortable when they come into the cemetery. We also have about 8 acres that we have recently cleared, and I continue to work on that so that we will be able to develop new sections. So again, a lot of growth within the company, and I'm experiencing a lot of that at Oak Lawn.
For the significant change I can see is, for now, we can say our company completely go international now. And the reason why I say that, the first, we do purchasing international, and we import granite and caskets from China in the past, but from this year we import caskets even from Mexico, so from other country. And we also import granite from China. Now we import granite from China, Brazil, and India. So that's a significant change. And the second one is we not just do purchasing internationally, we also do sales internationally. So for now, we sell caskets to Canada. So we have several Canadian customers. And we also have a warehouse in Puerto Rico. Yeah, and so sell caskets to Puerto Rico. We also staffing internationally a lot, because we have staff in China, like Chinese team there, help us to do purchasing and also do the quality control for us in China. And that's our employee. And we also have Chinese speaker employee here, like me. For now, we have more and more distributor who can generate more sales. And like 2013 will be a great year for us.
I think Greystone has been great for the company because they have shown us things that maybe we've been in the business so long that we're forgetting minor details. And I think they've shown us a lot of that. I love that they've got every location has the same phone system, because we all go to different locations. We don't know half the time what we're doing in another location. And that's very handy. The surveys, have made us really watch what we're doing. Those are very important. But I think Greystone has been a very positive thing for the company.
I say the change is for the cremation. We now tell families that we will dress their loved ones, and we changed the alternative container to a transporter. It's still cardboard, but doesn't look like cardboard, and it's just more easier for the family. One incident where I received an email about a month ago that I was kind of adamant about the family to come in and spend some time with their mother. And she did not want to. I said, she'll be dressed in the clothing that you bring in, and you spend some time. And she did not want to, but she knew that we required that. But after she did, she sent me an email stating that how easy it was. When she saw her mother pass away at home, it was not a very pleasant sight, and that was her last memory of her. But when I actually brought them in to make their final viewing, she says it's more peaceful in her mind, seeing her mother in this particular container, dressed and more peaceful.
I'd probably say that it's just the expansion of the company. It seems like every year there's another project going on, either around town or outside in a different area. Mainly, I guess fuel monuments, the first item that comes to my mind. It just seems like the company keeps growing into different areas, and you know, 5 years ago we didn't sell caskets, and now casket sales is taking off and doing really well too. Oh, let's see, Greystone is having a good impact. It's definitely good to get a different perspective on, you know, how a customer is seeing things, and from what the numbers, I'm a numbers guy, so you see the satisfaction rates just keep climbing. I would say just the overall idea of growth within the company, expanding into some different areas that you know, haven't been tapped by the company before. And just the overall sign of growth for our company, especially in a time where not a whole lot of businesses can grow this way. So it's a good sign for everybody in the company that, you know, we're in with a good place right now.